this time from Mattel, the Toys R Us exclusive 4-pack of the Ghostbusters from Ghostbusters 2, or I should say 4.5, because you do get Slimer the Ghost back there. And this comes packaged one of two different ways, with these silly little Santa Claus hats on all the figures and with them off. Yeah, see, they really don't look too good, so I decided to keep them off. These really won't factor into the review. They'll probably end up in a drawer somewhere. Mold they use is pretty much the same mold for all the figures, except for obviously the heads, the recolored hands on Winston, and the notable exception is the pants on Peter Venkman, which is untucked into the boots like the others, keeping with his character and his on-screen appearance. And I guess the best way to take a look at all these guys is do them individually. Ray's stance, portrayed in the film by Dan Aykroyd. And I don't know how many people out there know this, but his brother, Peter Aykroyd, is an actual Ghostbuster. Yes, he's a paranormal researcher. That's where some of the inspiration for Ghostbusters came from. The face sculpt is alright. It's not 100%, but it does, in certain light, it does look like him. It may be a bit squished in face there for some reason. It's pretty good. I've certainly seen worse in figures trying to capture the likeness of actors. Just some great details on the figures, and they're pretty much, like I said, since they're the same mold, they're pretty much all the same, but you see pockets, and you see the webbing for the backpack, the Ghostbusters 2 symbol. You got his stuff hanging from his belt, cords, and the real cool part is the proton pack. Very nice, all these colored wires coming out there, and it's an excellent job. Here's the wand for the proton pack, and you can clip this on here. You can clip this onto the back. It's pretty cool. Some of these wands, they're still soft rubbery, so they do get a little bent. You might have to dummy it up when they're holding it, so as to not make it look too silly, because they're bent at an extreme angle. They all have the same points of articulation, so I guess I can go over that now. The heads are all on one joint, a neck joint, so you can go forward and back and side to side, as well as tilt. I kind of like that they're a little bit different than, say, the Masters of the Universe or DC Universe Classics articulation. His arms, well, let's do this one, go all the way around. They go out, but these shoulders can be very stiff. He's got a joint here at the elbow which allows him to both swivel and bend. He's got a swivel and bend at the wrist as well. His legs go forward just a little bit, and they don't really go back too much either. They do rotate at the upper thigh, and they bend at the knee. They rotate at the boot here, and they bend at the ankle. And there's a slight ankle pivot here, and they do have waist articulation. Pretty good. Get some pretty good poses. You're never really going to get an exactly straight arm with these guys because of that joint and the elbow pad that's there. But all the extra articulation in the hands kind of makes up for it. Moving on to Egon, you will note that all the Ghostbusters have a different names on their name tag, obviously. Of course, Egon Spengler, played by Harold Ramis in the movie. And he comes with glasses. They are not removable, but you can kind of lift them up to see his eyes. But I don't recommend you do that because they are quite prone to bending, and I've actually had to try and force them down to stay in position like that. They still kind of bend up on me because I guess the way he was packed in there. And again, the likeness is alright. I mean, it's not 100%. Now, he does come with a trap, a ghost trap. The ghost trap here you can open up, and here's the little foot pad that would automatically trigger the opening of the trap. One thing I do have to say is that this handle here is really bent out of shape and refuses to stay straight. He does hold it at kind of a weird angle, and it doesn't kind of sit in there very well. You gotta futz around with it, and there goes his little proton. I might have preferred they had given him the PKE meter, which he most often uses. At the time these were put into production, I don't believe they had a PKE meter molded, so they couldn't include it in this packaging. They have released him in the Ghostbusters 1 uniform, the tan uniform, with a PKE meter. I think it's the Peter Venkman, who is the unslimed version, comes with a actual sculpted proton stream. You can attach it to all the existing proton wands, and it'll look like the the figure is activating his proton pack. Moving on to Peter Venkman, obviously portrayed by Bill Murray, and this is probably the second best likeness to the actors out of this whole batch. As I said before, he comes with this different variation on his legs, with his pants not tucked into the boots. And again, the same body, same proton pack, everything. Just really, really good sculpt. I think they really took their time with this guy, and I think Bill Murray was very stringent about how he looked, and I think that's why they took so long to come out with Venkman. And here we're going on to the last of the 4 Ghostbusters, Winston Zedmore, portrayed by Ernie Hudson. And believe it or not, this is actually, I think, the closest sculpt to the actor. Very nice job. The recolored hands, they're the same hands, just recolored. And again, everything else is the same on the figure as the other 3. His proton wand here was the most bent in the package when I got it. It's kind of straightened out because I've had him holding it. That's straightened it out some, so that's pretty good. And how can we forget the ghost himself, Slimer. Slimer comes with a clear plastic stand that you can just plug into the bottom, and you can kind of give him a little pose on there. Not too much, but he does have a fair amount of articulation as well. Arms do go around and out and in, bend and rotate at the wrist, and that's both arms. He's made out of this nice clear plastic, and he's got some great details on the mouth and the teeth and the eyes. You remember from the cartoon, he turned into quite a lovable character. So that's my look at the Ghostbusters. Just remember, they're ready to believe you.